with the object-oriented programming, it makes it really easy for us to create multiple instances of an object. So we've got our sphere bouncing around lazily. And what we want to do, let's say that we want to make a few more. We can do that by just saying sphere. We'll start the 1, 2, 3. Cool. Now we've got 3 spheres. So what we can do is we want to create new instances of each of these. And we can do that just by saying 1, 2, 3. And now whenever we refer to sphere 1, we're talking about one instance. Sphere 2 is a second instance. Sphere 3 is a third instance. We could call this whatever we want. We could call it, NYU purple. And then, it's just like any other variable. You can call it whatever you want. You want it to be descriptive. So NYU purple isn't very helpful if you're talking about a sphere that's bouncing around, right? So now that I've done this, right, if I updated this, we'd see there's one ball bouncing around, but we've got 3 of them. And so what I want to do is I want to change this. So we say, for each of these, I'm going to say update sphere 1, update sphere 2, update sphere 3. And now what I'm doing is I've got a pretty simple and straightforward way of creating multiple instances of an object that all have their own behaviors. So each of these has its own unique, so they all start out in the same place, right? Because the constructor says start out at width divided by 2, height divided by 2. So start out in the center, right? But they don't have to, right? We can see right here, they all have their own speed, and then it's because they've got their own speed, they all now have different locations. We could set it up so that inside of the constructor, each one could have a different diameter too, right? And because we're basing this, we've got this flexibility here, we know that we don't have to hard code in a value for the size. So we could say this diameter is a random value between, we'll say 10 and 200. We'll make it nice and large, right? So now if we were to save this and do this, now we'd get, oh look, there are 3 different sizes. Again, 3 different sizes, 3 different speeds, right? We can make them move a little bit more quickly. And we could all have them start out in different locations too, right? So we don't want to have it bump up against a wall or get trapped anywhere. So I'm going to say random width minus, or sorry, we want the random location to be somewhere between the diameter and width minus this diameter. And we want to do the same thing with the height here, so that they all appear in a random spot, but they don't get stuck there, right? So there. Now we've got 3 things doing different things, and we can extend this to, so you can see real quickly, now I've got 3 balls, different sizes, different speeds, starting at different locations. We can extend this too. So if we wanted to, we could say this dot r equals random 255, right? And so we can create various colors too, right? So G, B, right? Now, so when we first start out, we've got random red, green, blue values, and inside of our render, we could say no fill, or sorry, no stroke. We'll make these kind of do their own thing. Then we can say fill this R, this green, this blue, dib. Oh, now they all have their own color too. So you can see how this becomes really powerful and how you can really quickly change attributes on a whole number of things really easily. So I've got, with just a few lines of code, I could very easily make, I could make 3 more of these things, and then I'll have like a real, it would be like a party in a ball pit, right? So here we go. I'm just gonna, and all I need to do is just add a few more lines here, right? So 4, 5, 6, and then for this, I just need to update all of these, right? So, we'd call this 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, right? Oh, 4, 5, 6. Hey, look at that. Now I've got a whole bunch of these things bouncing around. And they're all doing something different. And they've got their own behavior. They've got their own color. They've got their own speed and location. It's a polka dot party. So this hopefully illustrates some of the power and flexibility that you can have with using object-oriented programming classes and objects. So in the next video, in the next set of videos, I'll show you how you can pass arguments into the constructor so that you can define things when you first create them.